Well, hello there, motherfuckers, and welcome to your NXT Takeover The End review. So, this was a pretty decent show. I'm not going to lose my mind over these NXT events because I really sat there and really thought about this. I really wasn't into this show. Each NXT event is pretty much the same as the last. I mean, let's be perfectly honest. This is going to get me some heat here in the YWC, but these are generally just spot fests. They're very much like Ring of Honor, of today. Pretty much every single match is just, a breakneck pace, very little selling. And I do appreciate the moves. I appreciate the athleticism. And the thing is, guys, I appreciate that style of match. Like when it comes to, Will Ospreay and Ricochet, you guys saw that. I said that match was good. I said that it showed some amazing athleticism. But he also knows I didn't say it was the greatest match of all time because it's not realistic. There's no real story behind it. And well, yeah, it's just I prefer a more classic style match that has athleticism. We've seen this time and time again. We've seen matches with amazing athleticism that also had great psychology. And see, that's what a lot of these matches lack. And you keep seeing, you would see that in these matches, psychology, and then they would just ruin it. And there was one match in particular. Let's just get down to it. So you had Andrade Cien Almas debuting, and he defeated Ty Dillinger. Both of these guys, they have charisma. Ty Dillinger's gimmick, seems to be working for him. The perfect 10. Andrade is pretty charismatic. He's definitely got the look. This is definitely a guy that I could see, in the WWE on the main roster. When he, went like he was going to fly out of the ring at Ty, and he hangs in the ropes. I know they've done that before in the AAA promotion in Mexico. And CM Double L, these guys, do that all the time. But I don't know. I looked at him. I saw that this guy, he's got a lot of charisma, and he kind of really stuck out to me. He looked like a star. Um, and this was a decent match, a decent dose of athleticism. Um, and I'll give it like 2 stars. It was a good debut for the guy. He got noticed. Um, the American Alpha and Dash and Dawson had a tag title match here. And, well, I got to be perfectly honest here. The crowd is just really fucking annoying at these events. They do the same thing every match, and it's not like the crowds of old. They're singing Kurt Angle's song, and let me tell you something, guys. As they're saying, Jordan's name, Jason Jordan's name, and Chad Gable, and guys, just because these guys have fucking slingets on there, and Chad Gable is the Olympian, and they do double ankle locks and stuff. These guys are not even a quarter of the athlete that Kurt Angle was. Are they athletic? Yes. But they're not as good of wrestlers as Kurt Angle. Not even fucking close. Kurt Angle is like one of the best of all time. These guys are good. They know how to wrestle a fast-paced match. But, I'm telling you guys, this was a little bit too much. And this is what I'm saying. This was a little bit too spotty. It was a little bit too much of the same pace. It started to exhaust me after a while. It was really long. Credit to these guys for keeping this pace the entire match. I mean, that speaks volumes about their conditioning and things like that. But these guys are popping right back up after big moves. Not even fucking selling, just going back and forth. And like I said, it really does take me out of the match where it's like these moves don't even seem like they have any fucking effect on the guys. I'm not even kidding. It's not like I'm trying to be some curmudgeon here, trying to rain on everybody's parade or something like that, and trying to, say these are spot fests and stuff. I'm not trying to be one of those guys. But seriously, I mean, this type of match is like we see it all the time. And I thought from Dash and Dawson, who, by the way, they won the tag titles here, they won them back. Um, it's like we see way, way, way too much of this. I'll give the match 3 stars. I mean, I got to give it credit for the pace that they managed to maintain throughout, but I mean, it was just a little bit too insane here. Nakamura, Shinsuke Nakamura defeated Austin Aries. What Austin Aries said is right. I mean, I thought when this guy came in to NXT that he was going to be met with like big time fanfare, but Aries has been like overshadowed and really like overlooked. I seriously thought that this guy was going to get way more attention, and it really looks like this guy is like going to fly under the radar completely, as he said in his own words. I mean, he hasn't gotten a lot of attention. He's losing here to Nakamura, and I like this match. Once again, it's like that match with a breakneck pace. They did slow it down a little bit, just in some spots, like certain big moves, like Aries hits like that big reverse exploder suplex, and Nakamura kind of gets right back up. There wasn't really a lot of selling in this match, but that's not really Nakamura's way. That's kind of the style they're working here. So Aries then dives to the outside. He blasts his head on the barricade, and I like that finish. Then after that, it's like Nakamura hits 4 big moves in a row and doesn't even go for the cover. Like, he's got to hit all these moves in a row. And like I'm saying, guys, like, that completely takes me out of it. It just looks kind of retarded when somebody has to hit 4 moves in a row to finish off Austin Aries. And I hope you guys see the point that I'm trying to. It's not me nitpicking. It's just there's a lot of things in these matches just that they just look downright retarded. Like, the moves don't seem to have any effect. They have to hit 15 moves to be able to beat one guy, even when he's finished. All he had to do was roll him back in the ring, hit him with the fucking kick, and end it. Because he'd already bashed his head on the fucking barricade. I'll give this match, like, I'll also give it 3 stars. I mean, they did put in a good effort, but I mean, just the way how these matches are put together, they're really tiresome, and there's way, way, way too much. They try to do way too much in these matches. Asuka defeated Nia Jax to retain the women's title. Here's the thing about Nia Jax. This girl should have won the women's title months ago. She's losing to Bayley. She's losing to Asuka. Every single time I see this girl, she's losing. She's like Austin Aries, always fucking losing. Never fucking winning anything, basically. And the problem I have with this match is, so you got Nia Jax, so I'm enjoying this match, mind you, for most of it, because finally we're getting a better pace here. Asuka's nailing some moves, but Nia Jax is really working the back. And Asuka's selling it for the most part. She's holding her back. And you think this is great because, Asuka uses her speed to her advantage. She's not going to be able to get the kicks in as much because the lower back is gone. And so then Nia Jax hits the big, huge power bomb. And I'm like, that's it. Nia Jax won. She kicks out. Asuka kicks out. Well, okay. And then right after she kicks out, then she straps on the fucking armbar out of nowhere. And then before I know it, she's running at at Nia Jackson hitting a kick, and then she gets the win. You know, okay. And here's the problem. Asuka and Shinzei, they ended the match with basically the same move. Can we get a little fucking variety? And that's not what pisses me off. She just took a huge power bomb from a huge woman, and she's then getting a move on right away and getting it clinched in completely. I mean, what the fuck? I mean, you know, I've heard that's not even a spot fest. That's just, they're gonna use the excuse maybe it's adrenaline, but the commentators didn't even say that. I mean, I'll give a perfect example. Triple H and Shawn Michaels, a street fight at SummerSlam. Triple H was working the back on Shawn Michaels, and then Shawn Michaels did a kip up during the match. Even I, at one point, had to roll my eyes a little bit, but then I said to myself, but that's fucking Shawn Michaels. That's what he's all about, heart and perseverance. The only problem is Asuka is not fucking Shawn Michaels. I'll give the match 2 1/4 stars. Being very generous, by the way. Samoa Joe defeated Finn Balor for the to retain the NXT World Title in a steel cage match. Once again, guys, big sling blade from the top of the cage. Joe is right back up after that. Like, does anybody sell anything anymore? Like, why the fuck are there even moves in the match? What it was good for what it was. I liked the ending with the muscle buster off the top. I'll give the match 3 stars. That's pretty much, if you notice, I'm giving the matches a lot of 3 stars. There's effort, there's athleticism. The wrestlers are trying to be entertaining, but for God's sakes, the psychology and the selling fucking sucks in this company, in this developmental. And the thing is, they're going to come right to the main roster and they're going to do the same thing. Because that's exactly what Sami Zayn and the rest of them do. They don't sell anything, and that's basically it. I mean, so it was a decent show, really. I'll give it like a 7 out of 10. It's worth watching. People who like NXT are going to watch it, and people who don't really care for this style are really going to hate it. I'm not going to say this ain't my style, but like, I'm getting sick of seeing this. We see the same thing on Raw, and we see the same thing here in NXT. They're trying to appease the fucking IWC that loves this kind of match. And the thing is, like I said, I like a match like AJ and Roman Reigns. I like excitement. I like a match with big spots. But I also like them to pace themselves. There's no pacing on this fucking show. It's like a movie. It's like a bad movie. Bad pacing. It's like, there's good parts and stuff, but the pacing is all over the place, and each match just feels pretty much the same. It's the same thing. You can make those excuses. Oh, it's the adrenaline rush, and that's why they're not selling. But that's for every single guy, every single person. Oh, and I also forgot, after the Dash and Dawson match, they got beat up by these 2 big dudes. And then Paul Ellering came out, motherfuckers. That was the highlight of the show for me. It was great to see fucking Paul Ellering, the fucking former manager for the Legion of Doom, the Road Warriors. That was pretty fucking awesome. And I want to see what they do with him now that he's back. All right, guys. There's my NXT review.